Good morning, students. These are some appropriate behavior which you should follow. Wear masks, follow physical distancing, maintain hand hygiene, wear mask properly and stay at least 6 feet from others. Wash your hands frequently, always with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Remember to not touch your face. Do not share your food or drink with others. So till now we have talked about the hormones which initiate the reproductive processes, but there are many other hormones also other than the sex hormones. So let us really have a look on the other important hormones. Now these hormones are secreted by the various endocrine glands. So if we want to talk about the endocrine gland, we will first talk about the important endocrine glands. Okay, so let us quickly so what are the important endocrine glands? Hypothalamus, pituitary, pineal. These all they are located in the human brain. In fact, I have already explained about the pituitary gland, which is the master gland. They are located in the human brain. Okay. Thyroid gland, which is located near the voice box. Parathyroid gland, adrenal gland, islet of Langerhans of pancreas. In pancreas also we have the endocrine part of pancreas, which is called the Langerhans of pancreas. Ovaries and testes. So we have already discussed about the ovaries and testes. They release the sex hormones, the testosterone and the estrogen. So we have already discussed about these two. So now we are not going to talk about all of them, but at least the important ones which we will discuss, like we will discuss about the pancreas, adrenal and thyroid, and finally the pituitary. So these are the important glands which we are going to discuss. So let us quickly look. So let us see where the thyroid gland located. So it is located at the base of larynx. At the base of larynx. So at the base of larynx you have butterfly shape of gland, that is called a thyroid gland, and it has two lobes on either side of trachea. It's like trachea, and the two lobes on the either side of trachea. Okay, so this is the trachea. So if you look at the structure of the endocrine glands, there are two lobes on either side of the trachea. So trachea is like at the center, and on each side there is one lobe. So these two lobes are connected by a tissue which is called isthmus. Okay. So lobes are connected by tissue called isthmus. Thyroid gland are rich in blood vessels. Rich in blood vessels. Now what are the hormones that are released by the thyroid gland? So the important hormones which are released by the thyroid gland, that is thyroxine, and the next is triiodothyronine. Okay, and what is the function of this hormones are? It is primarily cellular oxidation, so that when we eat food and when it reaches through each and every cell of our body, so the absorption, so that food need to be oxidized to release energy, so that process is called cellular oxidation, and these hormones help in the process of cellular oxidation. Okay, as well as the breaking of fat, protein into carbohydrate, or in a simplest form is that is also the function of thyroid gland. Next function is RBC formation. RBC formation. Okay. So these are some of the important hormones which are released by the thyroid gland. So how it helps to regulate the calcium and phosphate level. Whenever these level go very high, it helps to decrease the level. So basically it control the balance. It will not let go it very high. Okay. Have you ever seen somebody with swollen neck? You would often seen people suffering from diseases where they have swollen neck. So that is because of the thyroid gland. Abnormal thyroid hormone production causes hyperthyroidism or hypothyroidism. Hyper means more, and if it is less, it is called hypo is less. Now, so for synthesis or production of thyroid hormones, iodine is the constituent. Now, there are people who do not consume enough iodine. You have seen in the television of the salt ad where it is written an iodized salt because it contains the iodine. Because salt contain iodine, which it is the good way which you take iodine in your body. Because if your body doesn't have sufficient, then thyroid hormones will not be produced in the right amount, and if thyroid hormone is not produced in the right amount, then it can cause this kind of abnormality, having a swollen neck. Hypo means less production of thyroid hormones, and it causes goiter. Goiter is happen if somebody is not taking iodine in his diet or her diet. Okay. So hormones are secreted in right amount. If it is secreted more, that can be a problem. If it secreted less, then that can also be the problem. So even hyperthyroid will also causes a problem. Hyper means more taking of iodine. That can also be a problem. So increase the rate of synthesis and secretion of thyroid hormones. So what happen in this case, this condition can cause cancer or excess of tissue start growing up during hyperthyroidism. So less secretion cause goiter and more secretion called hyperthyroidism, and both these cases are not good for the human being. Let us look at the next gland, that is adrenal gland. So where is this gland located? So let us see where are these located. These glands located. So they are located one above each kidney. So just above the kidney, the glands are present, which is called the adrenal gland. So if you look at it in a proper way, here you can see these are the two kidneys, that this is one kidney, this is another, and here you have one adrenal gland, and here is two. So it is above the kidney. Now if you look at the structure of each adrenal gland, it can be divided into two parts. One is that is adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla. Adrenal cortex, adrenal medulla. The outer portion is adrenal cortex and the inner portion is inner medulla. So we will not going into detail because it is not in your course right now, but now I am just trying to introduce the important glands of the endocrine system. Now which are the hormones they get released by the adrenal gland? Adrenaline. They are called emergency hormone or hormones of fight. Why are they called emergency hormone or hormone of fight? So it is also called emergency hormones. These hormones have a speciality that it is secreted in any kind of stress or in an emergency situation. What these hormones do, they increase alertness, sweating, and piloerection. What is piloerection? Piloerection means goosebumps. So that is called. So all these which happen in your body, erection of hair on your body, on your skin, so that is happen because of this hormones adrenaline. It also increase the rate of respiration and the rate of heartbeat. And they also stimulate breakdown of glycogen, lipid and protein. So these are some of the important functions which are performed by these hormones. Okay. Also, this help to balance water and electrolyte in our body. And it also maintains cardiovascular system. It stimulates the RBC production also. Okay. The next gland which we are going to talk about is pituitary gland, that is the master gland. Till now we have talked about the three different glands, that is thyroid gland, the pancreas and the endocrine part of the pancreas and the adrenal gland. So now we are going to talk about the gland who is the boss of all these glands. So this gland control the secretion of all other glands. So where is this gland located? It is located in the brain, just beneath hypothalamus. It is also divided into two lobes. Now talk about the function of these glands. So various hormones which are released by the pituitary gland. The major function of the pituitary gland is that it acts as a master gland. It controls the function of all other glands. It regulates the hormones secretion from other endocrine glands. So it instructs other glands when they have to secrete the hormones. For example, adrenal gland secrete adrenaline. Okay. Similarly, the testes release testosterone. When they have to release it, that is controlled by the pituitary gland. Now, how will pituitary gland send this signal that okay, that you can secrete your hormones? So that is done by secreting some hormones. So the pituitary gland secrete some hormones, and those hormones will actually regulate the hormone secretion from other glands. So one example is TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, and it is released by the pituitary gland. And what is the function of TSH? It is to stimulate the thyroid gland to release the thyroid hormone. So basically this hormone is used to stimulate the other gland so that they can release their hormones. That is the function of pituitary gland. Now the next one, that is pancreas. So one interesting thing about pancreas is that it acts as a both endocrine gland as well as exocrine gland. That is why it is called composite gland, because it acts as endocrine gland as well as it also acts as an exocrine gland. So one part of pancreas is with duct and one part is without duct. So here we are going to talk about the endocrine part of pancreas. It is called Eilert-Langerhans. Okay, so what do you mean by islet? Islet basically means cluster of cells. It is like a bunch of cells, and each islet has 3,000 to 4,000 cells. So these islets are irregularly distributed patches of endocrine tissue which is located inside the pancreas. So it is a green color structure behind the stomach, that is called pancreas. Now inside this pancreas you have some endocrine tissue. They are called islets of Langerhans. Now there are around 1 to 2 million cells which is present inside the pancreas. There are two types of cells which form the islets of Langerhans, called alpha cells and beta cells, and they secrete various hormones. Okay, so one of the important hormones is insulin. You would have heard this word. Somebody who is suffering from diabetes, that is the blood glucose level increase or blood sugar level increases. So in that case, if the sugar level increases too much, then the patient is often taking to the hospital or the doctor to give insulin to that patient, because insulin is the hormone which helps to reduce the blood glucose level. That is the most important function of insulin. Okay, so this is the hormone which is secreted by the beta cell of pancreas, and it lowers the blood glucose level. Now, how does it reduce the blood glucose level? Whatever the extra glucose present in the blood, that glucose is converted into glycogen and stored in the body. Now, glycogen is a storage forms. So, during the emergency situation, it can be broken back into glucose and utilized in our body. So, that is insulin. The another hormone is glucagon, which is secreted by alpha cells. And the function of these two are exactly opposite to each other. So its job to increase the blood glucose level. This job is to increase the glucose level. So they maintain the right glucose level. Because if glucose level increase too much, it causes diabetic, and if it reduces too much, then it also causes problem for the patient. So insulin and glucagon both have performed their jobs, so that the level does not increase and at the same time level does not decrease also. So with this we will conclude this lesson with the last topic, that is reproductive health. So by now we know about the adolescence, the stage between the childhood and the adulthood. Also inside the reproductive system, and all the changes take place due to the hormones, and the hormones which are directly responsible for these changes are the sex hormones in both males and females. So now we will talk about the reproductive health. What do we need by reproductive health? Now we all know that what is being healthy. Healthy means does not mean that disease free. It also means that we should feel healthy both physically and mentally. So when we talk about reproductive health, we mean that we should be physically as well as mentally healthy in terms of anything related to reproduction. So it is a state of complete physical and mental as well as social well-being in all aspects of reproduction. So a state of physical, mental and social well-being in all aspects of reproduction. Okay, so for this, first is the knowledge of reproductive processes and organs, which we have already discussed. Second, care of mother and child. Third is family planning. We will also take care the overpopulation. So family planning is another important aspect of reproductive health. And finally, the knowledge of STDs, that is sexually transmitted diseases. So as of now, you people have already been discussed the knowledge of reproductive process and organs. Okay. And before that, when we will talk about the good health, the basic necessity to maintain a good health is one such thing is to perform yoga. Yoga involves a lot of breathing exercise, and it helps in the better circulation of blood throughout in our body. As a result, all the cells of our body feels fresh, feels energetic, and overall performance of our body increase. Okay, so physical and spiritual discipline that include meditation and breath control for relaxation of mind and body. So if you do a meditation for a couple of minutes every day, it will not only help to make you physically fit, but also give you mental peace. Also increase your concentration, and it also and to revive your body. So yoga act as a very good thing to maintain good health. Next is physical exercise. It could be in any form. It could be in a form of jogging, running, playing football, or playing cricket, or any game of your choice. Or it could be going to a gym. So there could be many ways by which you do the physical activity, and it is also very important to treat your body fit. If you keep sitting in the entire day, your body tend to lose energy. Your system inside your body do not work well. So it is very important to be physically active. Third is balanced diet. Have a proper food at proper time. What do you mean by the proper food? What is balanced diet? A diet which has the right balance of various nutrition. Like we consume carbohydrate, protein, fats, everything in our diet. Now having everything in a right amount is what that makes a balanced diet. Like some people might eat only fats, that will make fall ill. Similarly, some people might like only rice and chapati, so they keep on eating that. So they are just increasing their carbohydrate content, and they are deprived from protein and fat. So that is not a balanced diet. So what is balanced diet? It is a diet which includes all the nutrition needed by a body to perform properly. Now body needs all type of nutrition. Body needs protein, body needs carbohydrates, body also need some amount of fat. So and it also need minerals like calcium, phosphorus. So all types of food items should be present in your diet. Okay, so this is all about this chapter. I hope you all will understand all the concept, all the hormones which I have talked about. Still, if you have any confusion, you can ask me in your WhatsApp group, and we will start our next chapter from the next video. Thank you.